G'day and welcome everyone to RSL Active's third round here at Riverton. It's a pleasure to be here. And we'll be covering off and building on what we've learned so far. And for those of you who are new, it is a bit more start-stop because what it's about is learning the basics and fundamentals of the movements as opposed to looking good on Instagram and all that type of stuff. Okay, it's more about functional things. I like to keep things a bit light-hearted, so you know, have a bit of a joke and a bit of muck around. Mistakes are good. If you find yourself in pain though, that's no good. And I am aware of the different ailments that we all have here. Right, so we have different options to try and yeah, that's all right. So it's all start-stop. I'll provide some modifications, and then if you find yourself in pain, please back off. Discomfort's good, especially if you've not stretched certain muscles in a while or at all for a long time. We'll also be focusing some stuff on breath. So yoga is about connecting breath to movement, and that's what we'll be doing today. All right, so with that, if you do find that you need to take a break, it's all by choice. So I'll provide some suggestions about what you can do. But again, it's all about you and what you feel is right for your body today. And every time it might be a little bit different, okay? So if we can all start off now, just having a look and coming in, and we'll just arrive at the mat. Okay, starting from our standing position. And taking our hands, we're going to close, just having our hands loose. Just close down the eyes or take a soft gaze down in front of you. And we just need to come into our body now. And take a couple of breaths. Become aware of our breath. See where we are. See where we might be labouring a little bit or holding on to in our in or out breath. Whether you're notice if you're breathing in through your nose or through your mouth. Whichever way is fine. We're just noticing what's happening. Loosen off a little bit. And then with me, we're going to be doing what we call a 3-part breath. It's just like trying to stretch our lungs before we start doing our movements. And what I want you to notice is just see as we come in from the diaphragm or low to the mid, where our rib section might come apart a little bit as we come in. And then when we have our top breath is coming to the top, and usually this is where a lot of people will breathe, especially if we're just breathing through the mouth. Right, that's just the upper breathing. So all we're trying to do is just go low and then bring it up. So 3 parts. The first part is the low part, middle part, top part, and we can also use that with the hands to be able to help us gauge where we're trying to focus, where our breath is going to go. All right, so we'll start off with just by doing like a straw breath in, right? It's sucking in the air like we're, using a straw to breathe in, right? And then when we breathe out, it's just letting go and opening out our mouth and just letting go of holding onto the stomach. We could go from here. We'll start off slow, just having our hands by our sides. Right, let's just suck in that air first of all, breathing in, middle section to the top section, and then maybe take another sip, one more, and reach up higher, and then let it go. And then just notice your shoulders, and then your back sort of get a little bit heavier. So each time as we breathe in, we're getting lighter, so in, 2, 3, 2 extra sips, grow taller, reach up higher. And then getting heavier on our feet, maybe rocking the feet a little bit so that we could actually feel where we are on the ground and finding that central point of our balance. All right, so again, with the hands, middle, top. Let's take 2 more sips, 1 more, and then coming down here. Right, so what we're doing is once we're in that middle part is just seeing if our ribs are opening up a little bit. So that's what we're doing, trying to stretch a balloon like we're blowing it up at a party. Right, and here we go again. Let's do 3 more of these. 2, 3, and loosen off. That was 3. 2 more. 2 more sips. And for these last 2, I want you to see if you could keep a constant motion going up as we come in. So I'll count it, but it's just me pausing because I'm trying to get the breath whilst doing the motion at the same time. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's take 2 sips. reach up higher, and let it go. All right, last one is we're going to be changing the light bulb on the roof. All right, so let's go and reach up. 3, 2, 1. We're not quite there. Let's just take 2 more sips. 1 more. And we've got the light bulb. We can relax a little bit more. So from here, let's look at our feet and just build this up while we go into some of our warming up of our spine from the standing position. Is look at down at your feet. You can come in and have them out a little bit or facing forward, whatever's most comfortable for you, in a shoulder width position, or you could have your feet closer depending on how the hips are. All right, so I like to have mine because my shoulders and hips work like this with me as a bloke. Having my feet apart, maybe lifting your toes up and then placing them down slightly apart. Right, we often wear shoes, so if we're doing this now, it's just rocking backwards and forwards. We're just giving ourselves a bit of a toe stretch. Maybe you might want to curl them up a little bit, starting off here, rocking backwards and forwards. Coming into stillness now is having a look at our knees. When I say soft knees, we're not locking them out like this. All right, so what we want to do is just have slight bend in the knees. So we're sort of cushioning ourselves, and you can probably do that by sort of bouncing up and down a little bit like this. All right, I need to go to the toilet type thing. All right, a bit of that bounce. So that's where we are. And so coming back here so we can see it. Now, with our pelvis, is just tilting it forward there a little bit. And you can imagine that we're pulling our belly button up towards our back. And that's that slight movement there. And we're setting ourselves up, shoulders out. For me, I like to have my palms out because that's where my shoulders will rest. And just rest your shoulders. You don't need to pull them back, just rest them. That's it. So if your hands come to the front a little bit, this is what we call Tadasana or mountain pose from the start. From here, okay, if you've got bunged shoulders, when we're coming up and we're reaching up for the sky, you can actually come out and then lift up. You don't need to come out and lift like this with the shoulders. You could come out and forwards as we look up. That's okay if you can't get that range of movement or if that's not available to you today looking up. So that's the way to go in thumbs, the gaze to the thumbs. So let's start off now here to do our forward fold where we can coming up into extended mountain. So from here, we're going to breathe in through our nose this time, reaching up for the sky, 2, 3, and then hinging from our hips. We're going to come down, hands come down the center line, they could come together. Start hinging at your hips. Once you find yourself here and you're feeling the stretch in the back of the legs, you can just then loosen your head. Maybe you might want to touch the ground. Maybe your feet just come on and support by holding your legs. But we're looking for our neck to be a little bit loose. So you might do some yes and no's. From here, we're going to breathe in. And like a bookshelf, we're going to put our hands on our legs. And then we're straightening them back, looking straight down. That's it. Fantastic work. And then we're going to go back down, touching the ground. And then all the way up, rolling your vertebrae up one at a time, stacking them up. As we come to stand, we're pushing through our heels, rolling the shoulders back, hands come out, and then we could continue that motion, looking up, and then hands come down the center line. Well, we are imagining as we're coming down here that we're actually growing and expanding, reaching our head up to the sky and spiking our legs into the ground. Okay, so that's going to be the action, is forward fold, coming up for a halfway lift, down, maybe we'll do a couple of the halfway lifts because we're expanding our chest like what we were learning before, and then up to the sky. So with me now, let's hook in. Looking at our feet again, toes up, shoulders back, hands out, inhaling, looking to the sky, 2, 3, exhaling. As we're coming down the center line, hinging at the hips, belly might be on the thighs, we might touch the ground, we might touch our legs for extra support or hold on to the chair. Inhaling, straightening our back and straightening our legs and looking straight down. Fantastic work, everyone. And then exhaling, coming back down to forward fold. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhaling, halfway lift, and we're looking like a bookshelf here, right? So if you have a look quickly, we're looking like a bookshelf. That's what it is with the support. And then exhaling, down. Right, and then from here you might feel that your shoulders are coming apart. That's opening up the shoulder region. And then now let's come to stand. Inhaling, 2, 3, inhaling on that last bit, and then reaching down, coming down the center line, and then shaking it off a little bit. I like to be able to go in here and then reset, so then that way we can feel each time we're moving into that same position. So from here, you could also feel free to grab a drink as required. Let's do this 2 more times. I'm going to cue it a little bit more as we warm up a little more in between. So from here, setting our feet, hands out, grow tall, inhaling, arms coming up. We're doing this deliberately actioned. 2, 3, exhaling as we come down, hinging at the hips, belly might come onto thighs. You could bend your knees, that's absolutely okay. Head's the last thing to get loose. Inhaling, halfway lift, straightening up the legs, straightening up the back, using our hands as support on the legs. Exhaling now, down to the ground. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhaling, coming up for support. Exhaling. Option, this is you could come up again and fly your arms if you might feel that might be something for you today, is putting the arms and then pushing them towards the back. Fantastic. You could fly your arms, that's what we call that. And then back down. All right, letting go of the balloon. And last one now is inflating again, stacking up all the way. You could go little sips, 2, 3, down the center line, down the middle, growing tall, facing opposing way. From here, let's do it 1 more time. Inhaling, up, and then coming down the center line, bending the knees, hands meet mat or on the legs. Inhaling, halfway lift, exhaling, balloon goes down. 1 more time, inhaling, straighten the legs, straighten the hands, straighten the back, and then exhaling, coming down 1 more time. You can bend your knees, bellies on thighs, and then inhaling, stacking 1 vertebrae at a time to the top, reaching for a light bulb, and then coming down the center line. We're going to be warming up our back a little bit more now, so is doing some twists and then adding to this one here. So from here, I'm going to ask you to lift your left foot and come onto the toe. Right, so this is the action. When we're doing this, is we're bringing the left foot up onto the toe, and we're going to be lifting the hand up and then turning, and then coming and then facing that side. That side. Yep. So we're turning to your right, turning to the left for me. All right. So hands up and then down. Again, halfway lift. So we're just adding to the motion by turning each side. All right. So from here, left foot or your right foot's the one that's going to come. So I'll mirror it. I'm going to give this a go. Try and get my brain to go a little bit the same. So right foot, we're going to be coming onto our toe. So inhaling, come up to the toe as we lift our hand, and then exhaling as we rotate around. Hand comes out in a T, reaching out for each way. Right, that's okay. We don't need to. If you don't need to turn the whole way, if that's not in it today, we're balancing. Inhaling, toes come down, and then coming down the center line, looking down. Belly on thighs, halfway lift, breathe in. Slowly, 2, 3, exhaling, 2, 3. We're going to come up all the way to the top now. Inhaling, as we come up onto our right leg, our right foot, your left foot, sorry, is on the toes, and then we're rotating around. Okay, hand comes out in a T like a clothesline, right? Now open up the heels hoist, and then inhaling, coming back down. Now the foot comes down the center line. Balloons deflating, inflating again, bookshelf or halfway lift, down, loosen your head, do a couple of yes, no's to make sure that we're not gripping on with our head or neck and jaw, and then inhaling, coming back up, seeing if you could, we're breathing in through our nose or through our mouth, whichever way works best for you today. All right, this is the right foot now that's going to be coming up, inhaling onto our toes, giving our toes a bit of a stretch. And then exhaling as we turn around, coming into a T. Right, the clothesline, we're Goon of Fortune. All right, here we go. Inhaling. I don't know if you guys ever played that game. Right, down. All right, there's a big one. Big one back in the lines in my day. Inhaling. Not that alcoholism is a thing anymore in the army. And then coming back up. Inhaling. The Salvation Army, reaching up and then coming down the center line. Now the left foot's the one that's going to rise. Inhaling with the toe and then exhaling, turning around like this. Maybe you might want to choose to look over your shoulder to the back. All right, that might be in your practice today. Inhaling, looking to the sky, and then back down the center line, hinging from your hips. All right, it's all about the hips today as well. Growing again, bookshelf or halfway lift, exhaling down, and then coming back up. Fantastic work. All right, so let's just now bring this over, and I want you to grab your chair and just place it on the front of your mats. That's all right. So we could maybe stagger a little bit as we're coming in. So if one person will be on the other side. So what it'll be is it just looks like this. So if I'm here, so then that way when we put our feet out, you're staggered. So you could be here. Yes, fantastic. You're here. Right, yours is there. Yes, in front. Okay. Looks like we're merging properly onto the freeway now, like a zipper effect, right? Okay. Here we go. All right, so from here, everyone could see me. Fantastic. This is what we're going to be doing is called the sun salutation. But we're using this as a chair. And the reason why is sometimes if we're sitting down quite often, is that sometimes we might get a little bit tight after we've been in the seat for a while if we're taking a long drive. I don't know, you're playing bingo and you've been down for a little bit, a few hours or whatever. These are little stretches that you can do when you sort of get up to have a bit of a stretch. All right, so from here is similar to what we've already done. So looking forward from the chair, we're looking, yes, excellent. All right, from here, sun salutation, which is a variation of doing the full one to the ground. Okay, in our mountain pose, fantastic work everyone, is inhaling, looking up the hands. Exhaling, we're hinging down at our hips. And then you might touch the front, yes, that's it. Now we're just gonna maybe bend our knees a little bit and just have our hands here as support. All right, and then inhaling, pushing our hands away and our legs away, and then our shoulders come over to where above our hands. All right, so that is now our halfway lift. And then, breathing out, we're going to take one foot back and push our heel out, and then the other foot back. This is our plank position. All right, from here, our shoulders are over our hands, and then this is the upward dog, right, that we're going to do, is just looking forward. And then maybe we might want to dip our hips. Okay, that's a downward dog. So up dog, sorry. And then breathing out, pushing away, and then our hands and our lats are stretching. And then this is our child's pose. Coming now, walking up towards the chair, coming to stand, and then there. So that's the variation of our sun salutation when we're doing this. And then everyone knows that variation as well, as if we're going to be doing it on the ground. All right, the other variation will be, I'll give you just a demonstration. Up to the sky, forward fold, halfway lift. This is the plank, or we were stepping back, and then we were looking forward. So instead of doing the push-up, you're just looking forward and maybe doing a slight back bend, and then coming back to downward dog, and then walking up. So that just allows us to be able to not have to worry about getting right down to the floor, but it gives the benefit of all the stretches that we're doing. So let's do this 3 more times. Coming down now in front of our chair, growing tall, hands out in mountain pose, fantastic work. Inhaling, looking to the sky. 2, 3, exhaling as we hinge from our hips, bend our knees, hands come down. Last thing is our head, we can test it, yes or no. Inhaling, pushing up on our hands, halfway lift. And then now, exhaling, right foot goes back this time. Left foot goes back this time. And we're in our plank pose or push-up position. Let's just now breathe in and take our weight over our hands, right? The shoulder should be over the hands. And then look up, look forward. All right, that's our back bend. You might choose to then dip your hips if that's something that you might want to have a go of as well. So all a choice. And then pushing back, pushing our hands back. Now we're just lengthening our spine and then planting our feet on the ground. We're really getting a long length in our spine, and then walking up 2, 3 in small steps. towards our hands, finishing it up now, coming to stand, looking to the sky, and then back down. Last two, I'll go a little bit faster this time if that's okay, because we're warming up our muscles. Inhaling, looking to the sky, exhaling, forward fold, hand comes to the chair, inhaling, straighten the arms. Okay, that is halfway lift. Exhaling, coming down to our push-up position. Inhale, we move our shoulders over our hands. Right, we could be even on our toes, and then we look up. Maybe we might do a slight back bend. Right, up the dog. And then exhaling as we push back from our hands. Feet come flat on the floor. We spike our heels into the ground. And then from here, I want to do 3 breaths in your own time. Each time you breathe out, maybe you might push your tailbone back a little bit further. All right, so with me, inhale, and then exhaling. Maybe just imagining that stretch if that's at the maximum of your capacity. 2 more, inhaling, loosen off, and then exhaling, expanding the stretch a little bit more. Last one, and then exhaling. And then inhaling, taking lots of little steps as we inhale. Coming to stand, slowly, keep going with the breath in. Little sips now. Up the top, we're going to hold it for 2, 3, and then letting it go. So we're really working our lungs as well as doing this and coming into the motion. Last one. All right, so from mountain pose is inhaling, looking to sky, 2, 3, exhaling, hinging from the hips, hands meet chair, head goes loose at the last, 2, 3, inhaling, stretching as we stretch our legs and stretch our hands, 2, 3, inhale, left foot back, right foot back, push up position, fantastic, 2, 3, inhale, shift the weight over, 2, 3, looking forward, dipping the hips, 2, 3, that is our back bend, and then last of all, pushing back, breathing in, and then breathing out. This is our downward dog, or our chair variation of downward dog, with 3 full breaths here now. Inhaling, exhaling. We might imagine that we're pushing our tailbone back. Breathe in, breathe out. 1 more, inhaling, and then exhaling. And then inhaling, taking lots of little steps up towards the chair. As we come up now, shoulders come back as we're inhaling. Lots of little sips to the top. 2, 3, now just let the go. And you can just feel how the lungs sort of collapse a little bit more with the shoulders. All right, so we'll just move our chairs out of the way again. Fantastic work. So everyone knows now that we do have a variation if you need to use the chair, and then also if we're going to be doing it for the other one. So then that way we've all had that sort of a go just to see whatever works best for you. Fantastic. Let's move now to your right hand side of the mat, on the short side of the mat, and we're going to be concentrating on our standing series, building up the 3 from last time. Okay, so from here we come into our mountain position. First move, step 1, is you're moving your left foot double width apart. So from here, inhaling, and then exhaling, we're just stepping over. Whatever's comfortable for you. Let's look down at our feet now. Okay, if it's comfortable for you to have them out slightly, please have them out. Otherwise, if you can, you want to have your toes facing the long edge of the mat. We've got our slight bend in the knees, our micro bend, right? And then we can just put our hands on our hips, right? All right, ladies, you'll find this easier. The fellas, this is where you want. I want you to get your thumbs and then see if you could just feel just rocking that backwards and forwards a little bit, right? Yeah. Right, hey, mum, boy. Okay. All right. So from here, all right. So there's 2 things, which is one that got me on the road, right? And Dad had to pull over a couple of times. It's just really it's called squeezing them. It's the pelvic floor muscles. All right, so it's just imagine if you're going for a piss, right, to the toilet, and then you have to stop midstream. All right, that's what I'm wanting to do. So what you're going to be aiming to try and visualize is squeezing in some movies like, you know, anyway, it's called the gooch is the nickname for it, and it's in between the front and the back, so it's right in between, right? That's the area. So if you're stopping midstream, what we're going to do is just a couple of squeezes in there, and I'll call for it. So we're getting our hips from here, and then we're going to breathe in, and then we're going to squeeze, right? Squeeze, 2, 3, if you could feel that, and then exhaling. All right, let's do one more time. Inhaling, 2, 3. It's a real slight motion, 2, 3. All right, one more. Inhaling, squeeze, and then exhaling. All right, so fellas, if you're wanting to be able to get that prostate gland a little bit more, that's something, or even the ladies is strengthening that pelvic floor. So we'll just work on that a little bit, and then I'll stop at some points to be able to get those squeezes happening. So from here, hands on hips, we're going to be starting off with doing our warrior 2. So from here, hands on hips, inhaling to set. We grow a little bit taller, and you're moving your left foot, and as we exhale, we're just rotating it around. Boom, facing the short edge of the mat. Fantastic work. So we haven't moved anything, but you might feel that your hips have moved a little bit. So what we're trying to aim for now is our opening up our hips. That's one thing, is when we're sitting down for a while, that's one thing, and then bending the knee. All right, so what I want you to do is push equally on the front and the back of your knee. So you might be pushing on the toe balls of the foot facing the short edge of the mat, and then you're facing with the foot on the back blade. All right, so we're even. From here, hands on hips, and then see if you could turn your torso towards me. Turn, that's the torso, and if we're having a look at our knee, if it's collapsing in, maybe you might want to push it out. Yes, that's it. Fantastic. Inhale again, arms come out. All right, so level with your shoulders, and then exhaling, we're looking over our shoulders now. Maybe you might squeeze your butt a little bit, right? Just a slight squeeze, because then that gives you a little bit of the base there. And that, see if you notice, you're pushing on your feet at the same time. So we're going to take 5 breaths here. I'm holding it a bit longer today. Inhaling, exhaling. Maybe pull your tummy in as we exhale, right at the end of the exhale. 2, 3, inhale, exhaling, reaching forwards and back. 2, 3, that's 2, inhaling. Soften a little bit the shoulders. That's 3, last 2, inhaling, exhaling. 2, last 1, inhale, 2, 3, exhaling, 2, 3, and then bringing the hand in and coming to center. Let's straighten the foot, shake it out, maybe we'll stand up. Shake it out a little bit, because this could be, when we're setting these bases, right, it'll just holding a position like that could actually be quite tiring when we've been there for a few breaths. So let's start now on the other side of the mat. And our left leg's going to, your right leg is going to be moving. Yes, fantastic. And we're going to be going into our warrior 2 position from here. So again, looking at our feet, rocking backwards and forwards, inhaling. Shoulders come back and we open up and peel the chest forward, right? CO's coming in to present some medals. Hands on the hips, inhale, and then exhaling. Feet double width apart, fantastic work. The right foot, your right foot is going to be moving, so we come out, inhale, and then we exhale, rotating just on our heel, and then facing our toes towards the short edge of the mat. We might notice that our hips are opening up a little bit, right? That's okay. And we don't want our knee to be collapsing in, because it puts pressure on the inside. So if that is, maybe you could shorten your stance a little bit more so you could bend the knee and it's tracking over your toes. And then from here, trying to face me. All right, you'll feel that open up in the hips a little bit more. All right, so from here, inhaling. Yes, wings come out like a bird. And then exhaling, looking over your fingers. So 5 breaths here. I want you to notice that when we're exhaling, we're pushing and pulling, or maybe pushing onto our feet. So inhaling, 2, 3, exhaling, reaching out, 2, 3, inhale, soften up a little bit, exhaling, pushing away with our feet and our hands again, inhaling, exhaling. Maybe you might want to pull your belly button in on the next one, inhaling, loosen the tummy, and then exhaling. as we pull it in. Last one, we're going to let go of the tummy. As we breathe in, loosen it off, and then exhaling, pull in your tummy. Fantastic work. Inhaling, coming now to set. We could shake it out. And we're coming into that now in a little bit faster. So come on to this side now, opposite side of the mat, moving your left foot. And we'll just see if we could move into that a little bit faster. So from mountain pose, inhaling, hands on hips, exhaling, feet wide, inhaling to set, left foot's the one to move, exhaling, rotate the foot, bend the knee, equal weight on both sides, inhaling to grow again, chest comes towards me, arms come out, and exhaling, looking over the fingers. All right, we're at right dress now. We're pushing on the back blade of our foot, maybe squeezing the butt slightly, and we're pushing on the balls of our feet. We'll take 3 breaths here now. Inhale, exhaling, reaching and pushing. Inhaling, back it off, and then pushing into the ground. Inhaling, back it off slightly, and then exhaling. And then inhaling as we come back up. Arms down, shake it off, maybe grab a quick drink, and I'll meet you on the other side of the mat. One more of these, and then we'll add to this with our reverse warrior. So, again, feet, hands, inhale to set, hands on hips, exhaling, right foot moves out, toes are facing out. Okay, it's going to be your right foot that turns, inhaling to set, grow taller, and then exhaling, rotate on the heel. We're pushing down evenly against both feet. Inhaling, rotate your shoulders around, flaps up, right? We're setting the wings now, and then exhaling, looking over our bent knee and the hands. All right, 3 breaths here. Inhale, exhale. So we're going to back it off when we inhale. And then we're exhaling, we rebend the knee a little bit more, and then we can reach out forwards and backwards. Last one. And then last one is to move, inhaling, coming up to set. Fantastic work. Let's change around on the other side now. Let's add reverse warrior to this series. I'll talk you through it. So it's just a couple of other extra movements. From here, mountain pose, inhale, hands on hips, exhaling, double width apart. Inhale, grow taller, exhaling, rotate the foot, bend the knee, open up the hips. Inhaling, arms wide in a T, clothesline, and then exhaling, looking over the fingers. All right, it's like a right dress. 3 breaths here. Inhale, exhale, pulling your belly button in. Inhale, let go of your tummy, exhaling, pulling your tummy in. Inhale, exhaling. Now this is a little bit different now. If everyone just moves their head up to me, right? Is we're going to inhale, we're going to reach forward. We're going to flip our grip, flip the front hand so that our palms up. And then we're going to scoop it up to the sky. All right, we're reaching up and arching over. Maybe our backhand is on our leg. Fantastic work. From here, you may want to look at your hand, or you could look forward, whichever is more comfortable for you today, and you should be feeling a side stretch here, whilst keeping your knee bent. For 3, for 2, for 1. And then inhaling to set, and then exhaling, coming down, looking over again. For 3, for 2, for 1. Let's go one more time. Inhale, reach forward. Hands might be getting tired. Flip the grip. Let's scoop it back. Hand is resting on the back hand on the top. For 3. As we breathe out, you might want to reach higher. For 2. For 1. And then hands down. My shoulders might be a little bit loose, and then let's meet up on the stance. All right, coming to the other side of the mat now. Awesome, this is amazing work, everyone. All right, so at least now this week I don't need to move the cameras as well, and then you can see where I'm giving the demonstrations. So this one with our 2 reverse warriors. Set, hands on hips, And then exhaling. Right foot's the one that goes. Inhaling to grow taller. And then exhaling as our foot turns. Bending the knee, pushing against each part of the foot. Inhaling now. Flaps and the arms come out. And then exhaling, looking over your fingers. Right, bending the knees, you could feel that your hips opened up. 3 full breaths here. And I want you to imagine you're pushing equally on both of your feet each time. This one's different. Breathe in as we're reaching forward. Flip your hand and now scoop it up. We're reaching for the light bulb now. Hands coming at the back. Reaching for the roof. Inhaling for 3. Exhale. 2. And notice if your ribs are coming apart a little bit. Not the meat off the bone, but just feeling that the lungs are expanding there. Inhaling, coming to a T again, and then exhaling as we expand. 2 more. Last one. Last one for the reverse warrior in this one is reaching forwards as we breathe in, flip our grip, and then scoop it back. Reaching forward the sky or a light bulb in the roof. Inhaling. 3. This is good for the swing as well if you're a golfer. Or stretching out the arms, coming back down now. For bowling or something, which we'll get into that, and then standing up. Fantastic work. All right, so if any of you are bowling, that's ready to be able to get that motion up. All right, loosening up the side body, ready to do the flipper. All right, and so we'll add that to that now. With extended side angle, if we could come to your right hand side of the mat, please. Fantastic. We're going to be adding to this series with extended side angle, and again I'll talk you through it. So from here, mountain pose, inhaling, hands on hips, exhaling, feet comes out, inhaling, set to move, exhaling, left foot moves out, bending the knee, opening up the hips, inhaling, hands come out, exhaling, looking over our hands. 2 breaths here. Inhale, exhale, pull your tummy in, inhale, exhale. This one's different, reverse warrior. Inhaling, reaching forward, flipping your grip, and then scooping the hand back, reaching for the light bulb in the roof, feeling the side stretch all the way from your fingertips, all the way down, and then you'll feel that your toes, right, push against your front toes. Yes, for 2 breaths. Inhale, exhaling, inhale, exhaling. So from here, we're coming into extended side angle. From here is breathing in as we're going to start leaning forward. Our forearm's going to come down and it's going to rest on our leg. Rest it on your leg. Fantastic. So we're using that as the base to then inhaling as our hand comes up, and then over the top we're reaching. So we're stretching the other side now. Fantastic. All right, and last thing now is to inhale and barrel your chest open. Right, yeah, that's it. Rotate around, and we're looking up at our hand. Right, you might want to even, that's right, you're sticking your chest towards me. For 3, breathe. For 2, for 1. And then now let's reverse, keeping our knee bent, coming back to reverse warrior. For 2, for 1, coming back now, inhaling, as we then rest our hand on our forearm, and then looking over, switching the hands with a slight difference. Now we've got an extended line between our fingers, all the way to our back blade of the foot. For 2, for 1, sweeping the arms down, straightening the legs, and then coming back to stand. Fantastic work, everyone. Does that work the legs a little bit? Yeah. Holding it, right? I'm going to ride horses. Anyway, come on to the other side. And then we'll do that one more time before we hit the ground. And all right, cool. So from here again, as always, is setting our mountain pose up correctly. Right, feeling all corners of the feet on the ground. Toes are up. Inhaling. Inhale to set. Hands on hips, exhaling, double foot width apart. Fantastic work. Inhaling and then rotating. Hip opens up, pushing equally on both sides of the feet. Inhale, hands come up in a T, and exhaling, looking over the front hand. 2 breaths here. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale to stretch to reverse warrior, flip the hand. Now come back up, scoop the air up. And then we're looking at our hands, back hand rests on our thighs for 2 breaths. We might want to bend the knee a little bit more as we breathe out and reach forward more. Inhaling, last one, exhaling. So now inhaling, as we then reach our forearm to rest on our thigh. Fantastic, it could be up, it could be down, whatever's comfortable for you. And then getting the hand and then reaching up the other way, right? And then maybe you might want to look at your hand, maybe you want to look straight, whichever works best for you today, for 2 breaths. Inhaling, exhaling. Feeling the side body stretch, all the way from the fingers to the back blade of the foot. Exhaling. And now we're inhaling, getting the other hand. This hand's going to reach and scoop back to reverse warrior, keeping our front knees bent, everyone. You'll feel that difference? Yes, we're holding that stance. Nice and grounded. For 2, for 1. And then the last one now, coming out, inhaling, inhaling, inhaling. Forearms comes and rests. Other arm lifts over the head. Maybe we might want to rotate our chest open and have a look at our hands. Fantastic. That's a straight line, absolutely, or the line of energy that you feel from your fingertips to the blade of your foot. For 2, for 1. And then now coming out of it and then bringing the legs together. Whew. Right. Oh, excellent work, everyone. Okay, let's hook into a little bit of balance series. Like what we did last time, is what we're going to be doing. If you could sort of stagger again so you can see me. And then when we put our hands out, we're not going to be whacking each other because we'll be doing some heels hoist type movements. So from here is we're going to be breathing in for the first half of the circle and then breathing out for the second half of the circle, moving around at the pace that doesn't make you too dizzy. All right, so we're going to be doing 3 revolutions one way and then 3 revolutions the other way and then coming up to our balance. So from here, so there we go. Let's set our feet, inhaling, hand comes up, resetting our gyroscope, and then inhale as we rotate around to your right or left, doesn't matter, facing the back, away from me, and then exhaling, all right, coming to the front. Now, keep rotating the whole way around, yes. So inhale for half, and then exhale for the other. So that was the first demonstration. Maybe hands come down. Let's do this 3 more times, inhaling. As we turn around, as we reach the back, we're going to start exhaling. As we come to the front, and keep going around again, inhaling. All right, imagining that we're just pivoting and turning on the axis. So we're doing a circle. Right, one more. Exhaling, right? All right, so the kids are asking you to spin them. This is what we're working on, right? So the grandkids, or, you know, I don't know if you've got kids that are still having spins. All right, let's go the other way. Inhaling. Let's turn it around a little bit more. Exhaling as we come out the other half. That's 1 revolution. Inhaling. 2. Raw show's coming up. 3. This is going to be for the ride. Hands down, let's go the other way now. Inhaling. All right, we're going to make you a little bit dizzy. All right, exhaling. 3. Let's go a little bit faster now. 2, not too fast, right? Whee! 1 more. Right. And then you'll be much more equipped when you hook into that teapot that spins as well as spins. It's the double spin. Last one the other way. Inhaling as we come up. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Last one, inhaling, exhaling from here. Excellent mountain pose, everyone. We're going to get into our balance series. If your knee's a little bit funny putting the weight on it, please grab the chair so we can get some support. Coming into Stork pose now, and then what we're doing is we're pulling our knees up and then standing like we're going to be coming. I'll give a quick demonstration. So from here, right foot So your left foot's the first one that's going to be raising, and we're raising it up, placing the weight on our knee, then coming up. What we want to do is pull our toe towards us from there. That's where we're at. And then coming down, and then coming up, and then coming down. So we're going to link it to our breath. But we will be doing 2 breaths in that position. All right, so from here, this is the balance series after we've done some rotation. So, you know, this is giving us a little bit more. Your left foot is the one that's going to be rising up, yes? All right, so from here, inhaling, take the weight to the right foot, pull your toes up towards you. Yeah, as high as you need or as low as you need, just to be able to keep that balance. 3, bend your other supporting leg. 2, or maybe you might get your toe down, whichever works best for you. 1, and then coming down. Fantastic. All right, see which leg's the one that's your dominant leg. So we can keep a micro bend in that supporting leg. So from here, mountain pose, inhaling, looking up to the sky. Wobbles are good. We're setting our base, pulling our toes up, pull the toe up. All right, flex point the toe, pull the toe up, and then down. 1 more, each side. So inhaling, left foot that comes up. Maybe you might want to take it and see if we can lift it right up and then down. 1 more, inhaling. 3, 2, 1, and down. Fantastic work. Amazing work, everyone. All right, so this is what I'm going to be calling I'm going to call it the bowling ball. Right, we're at the bowling green, and so we're going to be coming into what we call crescent lunge. So from here, this is the movement. We'll be coming to our stepping forward, stepping down, and then bending the knee down. Right, that's the stance, and then so where we can is our stance could be here, it could be long, whatever works for you. A hand on our hip. So maybe we can reach forward and then just dip our knees. So once I'll break this down. So from here, inhale to set, and then it is going to be your left knee. So mirror, yeah, that's right. Your lower left foot is the one that moves, and then exhaling as we take a step forward. Yes, right, and then we might choose to then bend our knee and dip it down, but we're hands on our hips, so we're not leaning forwards and back. So this is what's giving us that yes, right. And now we're pushing back up. Coming to stance. Other foot's going to move now, our right foot, inhale to set, exhaling, stepping forward, dipping the knee, but we're still facing up. Fantastic. And then exhaling, coming back down. All right, this is where it comes into like we're bowling at the green. All right, so from here with the left hand, our left hand's going to be on our hip, and this hand's going to be coming back, and then we're going to be bowling through, but we're reaching forwards and dipping forwards. All right, so that's the motion. So from here, all right, the jacks over there, we've got a bit of a lined up, so let's grow tall, and then left foot's going to be coming, let's get a hand back, reaching back, that's it, a hand, yes, our bowling hand, and then exhaling as we come through, and then we're reaching forward. Let's take 2 breaths here. Each time we might want to dip our knee a little bit more. If you can't, that's also fine, we're just trying to reach forward with the hand a little bit more. Inhale to grow a little bit taller, and then exhaling, we dip down. Inhaling to grow taller, and then dip down and reach, stretching our hamstrings, and then coming back to our standing position. Fantastic. Now we're going to be ambidextrous and do that on both sides in case. All right, so from here, right hand's going to be on hips, having a look, left foot's the one that's going to be moving. From here, inhaling, as we reach our left hand back. Right, our left hand back, yes. Going to be ready to bowl, inhale to set. Exhaling, take a step forward and then bend the knee as our hand comes forward. Inhaling, come loose a little bit, and then exhaling, reach forward. Fantastic work. Excellent. One more time, inhale, loosen off, and then exhale as we bend our knee a little bit more, and then coming back to stance. I just wanted to quickly show you something, everyone, just when I say back it off so that it's clear. So when we're in the full stretch, when we do the breath, sometimes, you know, it's hard to be able to reach further or have that sensation of reaching further if we're already at that peak from when we're here. So when we breathe in, we back it off a little bit, loosen up, and then try and go for the stretch. So we might get to the same spot or that little bit further. That gives us that sense of being able to increase the stretch with each breath. Okay, so when I say mention back off, is just back it off slightly, so then that way we could exhale and then reach further. All right, let's do these bowling balls 2 more times. Right foot's the one that's going to be moving each time. Left hand on hip, inhaling to set, our hands reaching back, and then our left foot's the one that's going to be moving. We're bowling the ball, exhaling, reaching forward, right, inhaling, coming up, and then exhaling, dipping the knee, inhaling, and exhaling, dipping the knee, and then coming back. Captain goes, oh, look at that. The ball was right next to the jack. Fantastic work, everyone. All right, this one is going to be the left foot that moves. Right hand goes onto the hip, facing forward. Right, and then our left hand's the one that's going to be back. So inhaling, left hand comes back, reaching back, so we're setting the ball to go. And then we're moving our right foot, exhaling. Right foot moves forward, dipping the knee, bowl the ball, and we're reaching forward. Fantastic. Inhaling, back off a little bit. And then exhaling, dip the knee a bit more, reach forward a bit more. Excellent. 2. Last one, inhaling, back it off. And exhale, reach forward. And then coming back to stand. Fantastic work. All right, let's make our way to the mat now. So that's all the standing work done. And I'm nearly running. I'm like, whoa, man, this has come. Let's come down to the mat. And whichever what makes is easy for you. Oh yes, we're just going to be doing some lower back releases anyway. So what we're doing is come onto the back of the mat, whatever works for you. Maybe our head might be to the outside. So if you guys are on that side, head facing the wall, and then that feet facing towards each other. Fantastic work. Then that way you're not all sort of getting too much bird neck happening. So from here, let's make our way to our back. However that makes it feel right for you. Maybe you might want to put your feet up, flat on the floor, and we're just really feeling for the ground underneath. So maybe you might want to jiggle a little bit and see where your shoulders are and see how that sits all right. Oh, actually, my bad. If you could reach for your straps, that'd help as well. So incorrect demonstration there, everyone. So you can all get up. I know you can now. You've proven it. Okay, so with that you can do it from the seated position as well. So have you got the strap?
I'm doing the strap.
Yeah, get the strap as well for you. Excellent. Fantastic. Fantastic. So we're just going to do some leg opening rotations. So let's find our way on our back. Same. If you're on your seat, just lean back into the support. And then we can have our left foot's the one that's going to be bent, and we're going to raise our right foot and hook the loop or hook the strap to our right foot. There you go. Yes, that's all perfectly okay as well. No worries. And then from here, you may want to kick your foot forward a little bit, even from the chair. You can kick it forward a little bit. The strap's there to support it, right? And your knee. This might be working for you today. But if your knee is bent and the one that's touching the ground, and you feel that you could maybe even have a go at lengthening it, right? You might feel that that's a different sensation. Each way is fine. So now we're pulling our toes towards our head, flexing the foot, we're stretching up our arms, but your shoulders, right? Try and keep your shoulders on the ground. All right, so don't need to reef it. That's why we've got the adjustment for the strap. So from here, breathe in. And then exhaling, we're going to allow, using our arm to support, is taking our leg out to the right-hand side, opening up the hip. You're going to hit the table? We'll just adjust for any table. So for you, that's it. And then you could pull yours out as well. For 2 breaths, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling to bring the leg back up. And then we switch our hands, and then we pull it over the other side. And you might feel the outside of your leg or your IT band stretching a little bit more. Right, so take it over. It doesn't need to hit the ground. It's just as long as we feel that side stretch on the outside of the leg, IT band. Right, that's where you might feel some sciatica as well, if you get sciatica. Right, inhaling, exhaling, bring it back to center, and then switching sides. So seeing if you could Do a mid-air change. If not, you can put your foot down. Just a little bit of a challenge. Right, that's it. Legs up the wall, foot's down, and then we'll meet once our hands are all, feet have changed over. Fantastic work here. Keeping a micro bend in the knee. Fantastic work. All right, so okay, inhale, and then exhaling, taking the leg out under control, and then opening, feeling for that opening in the hips. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhaling. Inhaling, bringing the foot back up to the top, switching hands, all right, and then coming over the other side. All right. This is one of the sort of modifications of legs up the wall and supine twisting, but we're just concentrating on the outside sciatica. 3, 2, 1, inhaling, back up to the center, and that's it, everyone. Oh. All right, yeah, that's nearly the end. We are. So I'm going to sit up. Now you guys are on your backs. Go back down. This is a final resting pose or shavasana. If you're in your seat, you could just put your hand, just nice and comfortable position. So coming into shavasana, everyone, or final resting pose, you could lay on your side, whatever works best for you. We could get to that. That's the fetal position, right? So we could get to that. No, the fetal, not the eagle. The feet. So all the hard work's done, everyone. You can undo the strap now too, if you're still holding on to the strap. Strap, you just chuck the strap on the ground. We could get heavy if you close down your eyes now. We're in a safe spot. So what we're doing now is just giving a bit of a jiggle and seeing if our shoulders are getting comfortable. Placing your arms up above head, or whatever's most comfortable for you. Down by the side, if you want to place your hand on one heart, on your belly, that's also fine as well. And we're going to be coming to the last part, and probably one of the most important parts of yoga, is that stillness. Yes, you could go to sleep, right? Or you could just concentrate on my voice. So closing the eyes down now, and then when your eyes are closed, is maybe imagine taking your internal gaze to the tip of your nose, okay? Well, that's what we call looking at the third eye when you're doing this. If your mind starts to wander, just concentrate on the breath. You don't really need to shape it anymore. That's all cool. I'll say this last little bit, which is our theme for the day, finalizing it, and then I'll just shut up for a minute and we can just get into a 1-minute meditation. All right, so focusing on your breath again, without shaping it. Relaxing. Let your jaw go, let your tummy go, let your shoulders go. All the hard work's done. Today I want to talk about mistakes. Mistakes are lessons in disguise. They're here to show you where your deep inner work is. They are your opportunity to grow, take accountability, humble your ego, and become more your authentic self. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to admit that you made a boo-boo. It's okay to not be perfect all the time. It's okay to be human. It's okay to fall, but not onto your hips. And it's okay to fail. It's how you respond to mistakes that matter. It's how you perceive them. And it's the stories you make up about them. Your mistakes aren't you. They're lessons for you to become who you're meant to be. So let's set this intention, or finalize it, by giving ourselves permission to see our mistakes as our teachers. Mentally repeat, I'm willing to see my mistakes as lessons in disguise. And I'm willing to learn from my mistakes. And now we'll ask you to start coming back into your body by taking a big breath in. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe wiggle your head, wiggle around. Maybe pull your knees up towards you. Give yourself a hug. That's it. Keeping your shoulders down, if you are hugging yourself, is keeping your shoulders down and pulling up like that. Maybe your legs, or even if you're in the seat, maybe one knee at a time, like this. Coming up, holding up underneath it, yes. Just lifting up slightly. And just seeing where we are, stretching our lower back. Yes, fantastic work. Maybe you might want to rock from side to side in that crouch position. And then, like some of us already are already in a side position, is take a side for a couple of last breaths before meeting us in what we call easy seat, in a seated position. So take your time to come up. All right. The thing with yoga is that there's purpose to everything, and then there's also no sort of, the people sometimes say the full expression of the pose. Some people might not ever go to that. You know, it's all about, everyone's got a different body anatomy and then also different range of movement and ailments as well. So if you're feeling a stretch, or if you're feeling, noticing in your body that's loosening up, especially from compared to when we start and to when we end a session, that's you noticing for your own body, and that's the main thing. All right, so if we can come down now, cross your legs if you can. We'll finish this off with this last bit of intention. All right. Taking one breath in, letting go, closing down the eyes, bringing the hands to what we call prayer, and then thumbs towards the middle of your eyes, or our third eye, as we mentioned before, dipping the chin slightly to clarify thought. Bring your thumbs to your mouth to clarify speech. What we say internally and externally is just as important, especially that self-talk about mistakes. Just think about that for a moment. And then bringing our hands down to our heart center or the middle of the chest, dipping our chin that little bit more, taking a bow to yourself and saying thank you for allowing yourself the 60 minutes to come and have some self-care with yoga today, and to clarify intent. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be hanging around for a couple of minutes afterwards if you have any insights and want to ask any questions. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Well done. How did you go? How did you go, Ray? Well done, mate. Yeah.